Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is part 8 of our series on developing a full stack Todo app using Spring Boot and React. In previous video, we created our controllers and implemented all CRUD REST API. In today's video, we are going to add validations on our API request fields, handle validation exceptions properly, and return clean structured validation error responses. So let's start the video. Firstly, we need to add validation support in our application. So open your browser and go to MVN repository. Search for Spring Boot Starter Validation. Open the dependency and copy it. Now open your build.gradle file in project and paste it here. Remove the version because Spring Boot will manage it automatically. Now let's go to the TodoItemDto. This is the class where we receive the client data. So validation must be applied here. So first one is the name field. We want this field to be non-empty and also the name should be at most 255 characters long. So for that we will add the annotation @not blank and the message will be name must not be blank. We'll add one more annotation which is @size, and in the size we will mention min is equal to 1, max is equal to 255 because we want at most 255 characters for our name, and provide message. Name must be between 1 and 255 characters. For the description field, we will add the length validation. So we will copy the same size annotation, remove the minimum and set the max value to 5000, and the message will be description must not exceed 5000 characters. Next one is status. For the status, it should be non-null. So we will write @non-null message is equal to status is required, and here it should be not null. Same for to-do priority. Copy the same and paste it here and say priority is required. Now in case of due date, we want it to be either in the future or the current. So for that the annotation is @future or present, and pass the message due date must be in the present or future. Okay, so that's it. We have added the validation on the request fields, but validations won't work automatically unless we enable them. So we need to go to the controller and we have to update the create method and update method. So in the create method, here we are accepting the request body. So before request body, we have to add @valid. Also we have to do this in update method because here also we are accepting the request body. So write @valid and all set. Now we will run our application. Application is started. So now open the Postman. Now let's send the create request with to do name set as null. Send this, and now you can see status 400 bad request. And now if we go to the IntelliJ IDEA in the console, you can see we got this resolved validation failed for argument 0, and we got this default message name must not be blank. So validations are handled successfully, but still if we look in the Postman, the error says status 400 and bad request. It doesn't clearly specify that the issue is with the to-do name and to-do name is required. So to fix this, we need to handle the method argument not valid exception. So for that, we will go to our global exception handler. Here we will create a exception handler method that will handle method argument not valid exception. So here create a method public response entity, and we will return error response handle validation exception, and the exception that we will handle here is method argument not valid exception. And now to make this method exception handler, we will add this annotation, paste it here, and change the exception class to method argument not valid exception. Now let's add a log message here, log.warn validation failed. Exception dot get message. Now copy the base error response from existing code. So here copy this error response and paste it here. Here change it to exception. Now we want detailed error for each field. So for that we will go to error response class. So here in the error response class, we will create a static class field error with the attribute field and message. So public static class field error, and this class will have two attributes, private string field, private string message. Now let's add some Lombok annotations to reduce boilerplate code. @getter, @setter, @builder, @no-args constructor, and all args constructor. Now in the error response class itself, add one field, private list of field error, list of field errors and field errors, and import this list. Now let's go back to our global exception handler. Here we will extract the validation errors. So to extract both validation errors, we will write the code list of error response dot field error, import this list, give it a name as field errors is equal to, we have the exception class object dot get binding result dot get field errors dot stream. Now we will convert each error into field error object. So dot map field error, and here we will define error response dot field error dot builder dot build, and here dot field will be fe dot get field, and dot message will be fe dot get default message, and then finally we will convert it to list. Now we got the field errors list. So in the error response dot field errors and pass the field errors, and here set the code as bad request. So http status dot bad request, and now return this response. Return response entity dot bad request dot body and response. Now let's run the application again. Now we'll go to the postman and again send the same request with to do name null, and now you can see the proper error message. Here in the field error we get the name of our field, that which field has error and what is the error. Also this message field is getting a very ugly response, so we will just set here in our message field we will set validation failed, so it will be much cleaner. Now the validation flow will work like this. First the request will come to the controller, then the DTO validations are triggered with this valid annotation. Then if the validations are failed, then Spring Boot will throw method argument not valid exception, then global handler will catch it, and then the field errors are extracted here, and finally clean structured error response is returned. Alright guys, that's it for this video. We added validations on the request field, enabled validation in the controller, handled validation exception, and returned clean structured error response. So in the next video, we will do pagination, sorting, and filtering. So make sure to follow along. I hope you found this video very helpful. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video. Till then, code to crack.